Welcome to Transform, Ignite, Disrupt, bringing you interviews and insights covering proven practical strategies to unlock your company's innovation potential. Here's your host, Stephen L. Blue.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Transform, Ignite, and Disrupt. I'm really excited to talk about this today because, as you know, I travel all over the world, and I'm usually pretty hard on service providers. I get in a lot of hotels, I get in a lot of restaurants, I get to a lot of places where, honestly, mostly service in the service industry is pretty bad. I mean, the hospitality industry shouldn't be called the hospitality industry. It should be called the unhospitality industry. You know what I mean? Have you ever been in a hotel, ever been on an airline, ever been in a restaurant, and you got less than stellar service? I know the answer to that because the problem is we lowered our expectations of what service providers should provide. We've lowered our expectations about what hospitality is supposed to mean, and so then we're pleasantly surprised if we get a great experience, and we're not surprised and sort of tolerant when we don't. And that happens all over the world every day at hotels and restaurants and airlines all across the world. But I want to tell you about a recent experience that I had at a JW Marriott in Indianapolis. Now, normally I don't name names because then people get mad. I get calls from the lawyers. I get boycotted. I get angry emails and angry tweets. And so I normally, when I have to say something that's not so complimentary about the hospitality industry, I usually don't name it. But the JW Marriott in Indianapolis is a phenomenal place. Phenomenal. And I would highly recommend it. And I can tell you why it's phenomenal. It's not because, of the marble and the granite. There's plenty of that. It's not because any of that, because, of course the rooms are great. Of course, the selection of the restaurant is phenomenal. Of course, the building is well maintained, and of course, it's a very, very pleasant place structurally and from a facilities point of view. Less kind of table stakes. But the reason the JW Marriott in Indianapolis is so phenomenal is because they have a culture of hospitality spread across the entire place, spread across every employee. They have a culture, they've developed a culture of people that are so intensely interested in being sure that the guest has a fabulous experience. It's unbelievable. And let me give you just a couple examples of things that I really noticed there that were really extraordinary. It tells me that they're not running the place by policies that tell people, when a customer does this, you do that. And when a customer asks for this, you do that. No, they have an ingrained culture of people doing the right thing to give customers a fabulous experience. I'll give you just a couple of examples. I'm in the lobby of the hotel, and I asked a woman who was cleaning the floors. Now, this is a cleaning woman. I asked the woman who was cleaning the floors where the restroom is. Now, most people, and you wouldn't blame them, and I wouldn't have, been offended, would say, well, you just go, down that hall, and you take a left, and it's right on the left-hand side. That's, if you've ever asked for the restroom in a restaurant or hotel, that's what they'll do. They'll very nicely and politely direct you to where it is. Well, this cleaning woman, I expected her to do just that, but that's not what she did. She escorted me all the way across this huge lobby to the other side of the hotel, down the hall, and she escorted me right to the door of the restaurant. Now, that is a cultural thing. That's someone who is engaged in making the customer experience delightful. And this is what I found throughout the whole hotel. And I was there for 2 or 3 days, and every single person was so delightfully helpful, it was unbelievable. But let me tell you about the last thing that happened to me on my way out of this hotel. It was, I don't know, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, nobody around in the lobby, right, at 5 o'clock in the morning. That time of the day, very few people around. As I'm leaving the building, the security guard, this is the security guard. Most times you leave a hotel, the security guards, they won't even look at you. They don't care about you. That's not their job. Security guard's job is security, right? Security guard's job is not guest relations, but not at the JW Marriott in Indianapolis. At the JW Marriott in Indianapolis, they have a culture of customer excellence. And that means everybody that works there is ingrained in that culture and happy to participate in that culture, very effective in that culture too. And so on the way out, the security guard wishes me a good day. That was odd in itself. Usually you don't even get a nod from the security guard. But then he said something quite extraordinary. Excuse me. He said, "Thank you for staying at the JW Marriott, sir. I hope to see you again." Now, come on, the security guard bidding me farewell and then saying that he hopes to see me again. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I really don't think there's a policy that says to the security people when a guest leaves, customer leaves the hotel, bid them farewell, wish them a nice day, and say to them, "I hope to see you again." I doubt that. I doubt there's a policy that says, maids, people cleaning the floor in the lobby, if a customer asks you for directions to the restroom, you personally escort them over there. I doubt that because, see, these are situations that can't necessarily or always be anticipated in advance and planned for and put down in the policy manual. No, I don't think JW tries to manage that hotel by policies. I'm quite sure that they manage that place by creating, developing, and nurturing a policy of make the customer feel very special. And how do they do that? Well, they hire that way. They hire people who are interested in the hospitality part of the business. They hire people who are engaged and enlightened and want to be helpful and want to be in the service industry, as opposed to a lot of service industry employees that don't want to be there. They wish they worked there and they can't wait to get the hell out. And then they create the environment that allows them to flourish and allows them the freedom and the flexibility to make the right decisions for the customer. Is the right decision for the customer to personally show them to the restroom instead of giving directions? Absolutely. If you want the customer to have a memorable experience like I did, and if you want the customer to feel special, that's exactly what someone would do. But I doubt that they have a policy to cover that. And again, with the security guy, I doubt there's a policy that says, make sure you say goodbye to every customer and make them feel welcome. No, they've empowered people and they've created a situation beginning with their hiring and with their promotion and with their incentives and with their leadership. They created a condition where people that work, you can't go to work, by the way, I doubt that you go to work for JW Marriott unless you have this mindset. They screen for that. There is a way to screen for that kind of mindset in your interviewing process. And I doubt that anybody lasts very long if they don't exhibit that behavior. And I know in my company that the cultural expectations that we have, first we screen them pretty good to begin with. And if they don't exhibit the behavior that we expect and we've asked for, they won't stay very long. And I bet you JW does the same thing we do. We promote people that exhibit the right cultural traits and behaviors that we want. And so the whole place can see that when people get promoted because of the way they behave, the way that we culturally expect them to, then other people say, I want to get promoted too, so maybe I ought to start behaving that way. So I just wanted to tell you about the JW experience because that's a cultural phenomenon. That isn't a policy problem. And all you leaders out there that have human resource people that try to tell you we need to lead the place with policies and policies and policies and policies and policies. Poppycock. I say poppycock to that. It's not policies that create greatness in a company, it's culture. Well, we'll see you in the next episode of Transform, Ignite, and Disrupt. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Transform, Ignite, Disrupt. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit StephenLBlue.com.